Friends, I welcome you to the most important pillar of a winner's character, pillar number 7. We've already covered 6 pillars, but this one is different from everything that came before. The 7th pillar is what gives life, drive, and meaning. It fills everything with fire and blood. Without it, all the other pillars are just tools sitting in a box with nobody picking them up, because there is no reason strong enough to make you reach for them. That's the truth. And I want you to feel that truth before we go any further, because what I am about to share with you is not just another lesson. It's the foundation underneath every result you will ever create in your life. So stay with me, because this one matters more than anything we've covered so far. Here is the problem that almost one runs into. You watch something, you read something, you get inspired. You look at a system, you look at a set of principles, and something clicks inside you. There is a way, you think. There is a path. There is a method that works, and I am going to follow it. You go to sleep that night with your mind running wild, imagining a completely different life. You are living somewhere incredible, California, Dubai, wherever your dream takes you. There is a Ferrari and a Porsche sitting in front of your mansion. You wake up in the morning, you drive along the ocean to the gym, you train hard, you follow the system, everything is clicking, everything is working, and then you actually wake up. Damn reality. Nothing has changed. The same room, the same problems, the same routine waiting to swallow you whole. The alarm goes off, and instead of driving along the ocean, you are rushing to deal with payments, to deal with stress, to handle whatever chaos the day decided to throw at you before you even had a chance to drink your coffee. And you tried. You genuinely tried. You took the system. You thought to yourself, I've been wanting to start working out for a while. Let me implement this. Let me give it a real shot. You started. You were consistent for a few days, and then one morning, the problems piled up so high you couldn't even see over them. The kids got sick, a payment came due, some crisis showed up out of nowhere and demanded your complete attention. And just like that, you thought, forget the workouts, forget the system, I'll come back to it later. I have real things to deal with right now. And later never came. Because that's how the madness of everyday life works. It doesn't attack you all at once. It just quietly, consistently drains you, your energy, your visions, your motivation, your dreams, until one day you realize you haven't thought about your goals in weeks and the routine has completely taken over. This is not a personal failure. This is a trap that catches 95% of people. Do you think it's by chance that 95% of people live a life they don't love? Work jobs they never wanted, do things that bore them to death, and wake up every single morning to repeat the same gray cycle? It's not by chance. It's not laziness. It's not that they don't have potential. It's because everyday life is a machine, and that machine is built to pull you in, grind you down, and show you, through years of repetition, that this is just how things are, that this dull, gray, mediocre existence is the only thing available to you. So just live here. Just survive. Just get through the week, get through the month, get through the year, and do it all over again. That is the force we are up against, and that is exactly why we need the 7th pillar. Because without it, even the best systems, the best knowledge, the best intentions in the world will get swallowed by that machine. Before I tell you what the 7th pillar is, I need you to understand something about why you are here. Not just here watching this video, but here, in this pursuit, in this search for something more. Each of us, right now, stands at a fork in the road with 2 paths stretching out in front of us. The first path is the path of dreary survival, constant struggle, settling for whatever life hands you, moving through the days without direction, without fire, without the feeling that you are building something that actually means something to you. It's not a dramatic life, it's not a terrible life necessarily, it's just small, quiet. A slow fade where one day you look back and you can't quite remember what you were supposed to be doing with all of it. The second path is something else entirely. It's the path of transformation, of writing your own story, of building a life so vivid and so full that you look back on it and think, wait, is this really my life? Did I actually build this? A life where you live where you want, with the people you want, doing work that lights you up, with the freedom to move through the world on your own terms. Not a perfect life, but an epic one, a real one. One that feels like it was actually lived. Both of these paths are real. Both of them exist for you right now, at this very moment. And what determines which one becomes your actual reality is the seventh pillar and everything we work on together here in 4Men Mastery. Because no matter how far you've already come, no matter how much you've already built, these two paths are always in front of you. The question is always, do I keep pushing toward something greater, or do I slowly drift toward comfort and stagnation? That question never goes away. But the seventh pillar gives you the answer every single time. Now, let me show you something. Let me actually show you the power of what we're talking about, because I don't want this to be abstract. I want you to feel it in your body. Imagine you're having one of those mornings, a rough one. You woke up already behind, already stressed, already dreading the day. You are on your way to the office, stuck in the same commute you've done 1,000 times, thinking, another day, same nonsense, same routine, nothing ever changes. Your energy is somewhere underground. Your motivation is zero. You feel the weight of everything on you, the obligations, the pressure, the never-ending grind. And then your phone rings. You pick it up. Someone on the other end says, hey, listen carefully. Right now, on the other side of the city at a specific address at checkout number 4, there is a suitcase with $5 million in it. All you have to do is get there first and say the code word, 4Men Mastery. That's it. The money is yours. Now I want you to stop and actually think about what happens inside you at that exact moment. What happens to the apathy? What happens to the gloom, the exhaustion, the feeling that nothing is worth the effort? It vanishes. Completely. Instantly. In that single moment, everything shifts. You are not tired anymore. You are not unmotivated anymore. You don't care about the office. You don't care about being late. You don't care what your boss thinks or what anyone thinks. You slam the door. You sprint. You jump fences. You flag down cars. You are pulling up Uber and Google Maps at the same time. You are calling everyone you know. You are moving with a kind of speed and intensity that you haven't felt in years. And inside your head, while your body is doing all of this, the picture is already building itself. You are paying off every debt today. You are going to the dealership tonight. You are booking the flight. You are calling the people you love. You are opening the business you always dreamed about. You are finally getting out. The picture is so vivid, so real, so close that nothing else in the world exists. No other people, not their opinions, not obstacles, not discomfort. Just you, the goal, and the path between them. That is tunnel vision. That is what a clear, burning, deeply desired goal does to a human being. It doesn't just change your mood. It changes your entire operating system. It rewires how you move through the world. And the only question that matters is this. Can we create that feeling on our own? Without waiting for a random phone call, without waiting for some external event to shake us awake, can we manufacture that fire deliberately, intentionally, and sustain it? Yes. That is exactly what the seventh pillar is. That is the entire point. We don't need luck. We don't need someone to hand us the opportunity. We need one thing, a main definite goal. Let me tell you what that means, because it's not just any goal. A main definite goal is not I want to get fit or want to earn more money. A main definite goal is the one that if you don't achieve it, you feel it in your bones. It's the goal that paints the picture so vividly that you can already see yourself inside that life. And the gap between where you are now and where that goal lives is so clear, so real, and so motivating that it pulls you forward even on the days when everything is working against you. It's the goal that gives meaning to everything else. When you have it, every book you read feeds it. Every workout serves it. Every early morning, every hard conversation, every uncomfortable decision, all of it sharpens toward this one point. And suddenly, none of the other things feel like sacrifice, because they're not sacrifices anymore. They're steps. They're part of the journey towards something that actually matters to you. Without a main definite goal, self-development is just a hobby. With it, self-development becomes a weapon. Now, for this goal to truly work, for it to actually function as the engine of your life, it needs 4 specific things. These are not optional. Every single one of them matters, and if any one of them is missing, the goal loses its power. The first thing is a desired reward. This sounds simple, but most people get it wrong. They set goals that are reasonable, responsible, sensible. Goals they think they should want, rather than goals that actually light something up inside them. That's not a main definite goal. A main definite goal has to give you goosebumps. When you close your eyes and imagine achieving it, truly achieving it, living inside that reality. You have to excitement, electricity, almost disbelief that it could actually be yours. If the thought of achieving your goal doesn't move you, it's not the right goal. Go deeper. Go bigger. Find the thing that makes you think, if I actually pulled this off, my life would never be the same. That's the reward we're talking about. That's number one. The second thing is belief. And this is where most people quietly fail without even realizing it. They want the goal. They can picture it, but somewhere deep down, they don't actually believe they're capable of it. They don't believe they're worthy of it. They don't believe it's really available to them. And because of that hidden doubt, they never take the actions required to get there. As Jim Rohn said, the hardest thing for him wasn't earning $1 million. The hardest thing was believing that he could. Because belief is what unlocks action. Without belief, wanting something becomes painful. It turns into resentment toward people who have what you want, and burnout from chasing something you've already decided, somewhere in the back of your mind, that you can't really have. So how do you build the belief? You look at people who have already done it. You find the proof that it's possible. You understand that the people who've achieved what you want are not fundamentally different from you. They're just further along the path. They started exactly where you are. And if one person could do it, that means it's possible. And if it's possible, then with the right work, the right system, and the right mindset, you can do it too. This is why Napoleon Hill built his entire book, The Law of Success, around a single idea that runs through every page like a golden thread. If you can imagine it, you can achieve it. Read that again. If you can imagine it, if you can see it clearly enough in your mind to feel it, then the path to achieving it exists. Belief is not arrogance. Belief is the basic requirement for results. That's number two. The third thing is a clear plan of action. Think back to the $5 million phone call. One of the reasons your energy exploded in that moment wasn't just the reward, it was the clarity. The plan was simple. Get to the address, say the code word, pick up the suitcase. There was no confusion, no overthinking, no sitting around wondering what the first step was. You just moved, because you knew exactly what moving meant. Your main definite goal needs that same clarity. A plan so specific, so straightforward, that when you sit down to work on your goal, you don't have to figure out what to do, you already know. You just execute. The plan doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to cover every possible scenario. It just has to be clear enough. The confusion is not the reason you are not moving. Confusion is one of the great enemies of momentum. When you don't know what the next step is, you hesitate. And hesitation is where the routine sneaks back in. Build the plan. Make it simple. Make it something you can follow without having to think too hard about it. And then act on it like crazy. That's number three. The fourth thing is stakes and a deadline. A reward gives you direction. Belief gives you fuel. A plan gives you clarity. But stakes give you urgency. And without urgency, even the best goal tends to drift. Deadlines are not just a productivity tool, they're a psychological one. When you set a real deadline and attach real consequences to it, you stop treating your goal as something you'll get to eventually, and start treating it as something that has to happen now. Create a deadline that means something. Tell someone, make a public commitment. Promise yourself that if you don't hit a certain milestone by a certain date, there is a real consequence, something that costs you, something that matters. Back yourself against the wall. Because when the wall is behind you and the goal is in front of you, the only direction that makes sense is forward. This is what fills life with genuine urgency. Not the fake urgency of someone else's emergency, but your own urgency. The kind that comes from knowing that your time is limited, your goal is real, and every day you drift is a day you don't get back. That's number four. So here is where we land, friends. Your task, starting today, not tomorrow, not after the next video, is to define your main definite goal. The one whose reward gives you goosebumps when you imagine it clearly. The one you genuinely believe is possible, because you've seen someone else walk that path before you. The one that comes with a plan simple enough that you can stop thinking and start moving. And the one you've backed with a real deadline and real stakes so that forward is the only option left. Once you have that goal, connect everything to it. Your training sharpens toward it. Your reading feeds it. Your relationships, your business, your mornings, your evenings, all of it becomes part of the same mission. This is what transforms self-development from a collection of interesting ideas into an actual force in your life. This is what makes the first 6 pillars matter. This is what gives the whole system its engine. This is the 7th pillar, friends, and this is what we're here to build. Let's go.